What's going on, guys? It's Cliffy here. Today we are playing the first of 3 one-day internationals against Australia. We've been a little bit whipped, it would have to be said, in the first innings. I think we only scored about 170 as a team. I'm pretty guilty. 7 off just 3 deliveries. You're getting out on that third one, but as we can see, required run rate, they've got it all ready for the over. It's only been 1 ball, so that doesn't bode well for us, and hopefully we can just go and pick up some early wickets, because that is the only way that we are going to beat this Australian side, as I said, in this first of 3 one-day internationals. So wickets are the key. I don't think we can contain them to such a low total. And to be honest, I don't even know why I'm bowling inside the power play. I would have preferred to bowl later on in the innings. I'm having to chuck it in, you know, on a good length rather than get those Yorkers in. But we will mix it up. We will chuck the odd Yorker in just to try and get something, possibly a catch out on the leg side, but we do have 2 men patrolling the boundary. But we will just have to wait and see. So nothing really to talk about in this career mode. Nothing to talk about in the world of cricket either. Recording this video in advance. I believe when you guys see this overnight, there were 2 one-day internationals that were played. Both, I believe, did rubbers. Australia, Sri Lanka, I believe Australia are up 3-1 in that series in the 5th and final one-day international, and England up 4-0 looking for the clean sweep against Pakistan. So those 2 series coming to a close. Not sure if there's T20s that are going to be going on after it, but if there are, no doubt we will be covering it in coming videos in the coming weeks. But we've got what we needed. We wanted that early wicket, and that is what we have gone and done. So we can't ask for too much more than that. We've got one, not ourselves personally, but our bowling partner down the other end. I think it's Hamish Rutherford who opens the bowling for us. I'm not 100% sure, but it is Dave Warner who has gone and got out. So that's good for me, because for some reason, I just don't really like bowling to left-handers in this game. More, well, I guess it's probably the way I'm bowling at the moment as well, trying to get my in-swing skill up. More opportunities bowling in-swing. Obviously, you've got the bowled, you've still got caught, you've got LBW. Whereas if you bowl out-swing, you know, not as many chances. You still have an opportunity to get dismissals in those 3 methods I have just discussed, but not as likely. You know, you're more likely to get something caught behind or caught in the slips. Or possibly just a catch. You know, you can get the odd one that it just moves an absolute mile, but not normally the case. So we've been, I must say, we've been expensive so far. We've gone for 4 off the first 3 deliveries. I was going to say 4 deliveries, but we have chucked in a dot ball there. And the wicket-taking prowess just seems to be gone. We had it in the T20 series against the West Indies not too long ago, but it just doesn't seem to quite be here in this series to date so far. So hopefully we can pick that up. Different mechanics of the game as well, I believe. You know, playing T20, obviously batsmen are going to be more aggressive, going to take more risks, hit more aerial shots, and, you know, just try and score runs quicker. Whereas in one-day internationals and tests, you really do have to try and work for your wickets to make them count, I guess, and obviously to get them. You know, you got to set the batsman up, make him make a mistake, and then you can go and pounce on it. You need to pounce on it because since, and I have spoken about this time and time again, since the patches have been released on this game, it's not a bad thing. It has made the game a lot better. It'll be interesting to see what they do come Don Bradman 17 coming out at the later in this year. But it will be very interesting to see how that does go. But I must say, since the patches have come out, that bowling, you know, before they came out, pre-patches, bowling was super easy. Like, it was so easy to take wickets. You go back and look through my career videos, you know, in the early days, and I'm taking 7, 8, 9, sometimes even 10 wickets in an innings. You know, I'm picking up hat-tricks left, right, and centre. I think in one, I took 10 wickets in a first-class game in the innings. It just absolutely rolled the side. So now it is good that it is a little bit more of a challenge. But I think the balance has kind of gone a little bit in favour of the batsman. Like, it used to be, as I said, very easy to take wickets. Now I find, especially in the longer forms, T20 not so much, but in one-day internationals and tests, even one-day games for that matter, very difficult to try and take wickets and get wickets compared to what it used to be. And I think that goes down to the AI batsman just being a little bit more smart, not playing stupid shots, not leaving stupid shots. You know, which, as I said, it is a good thing. It does make the game more enjoyable. You aren't going out there taking 10 wickets every innings, which is a tad unrealistic. You know, it just doesn't happen day in and day out. But That's all right. I almost forgot to skip. And you can see the comparisons. After 5 overs, Australia 1 for 29. New Zealand were none for 6. So it shows you the speed or lack of speed that New Zealand did have in their chase. I think I came in at the 35 over mark, as that one there has gone. I think it's actually taken the inside edge and has just missed both the stumps and the keeper's gloves. Got there on the bounce. But positive signs, and we will definitely take that. But anyway, back to the batting performance. I think when I came in the start of the 36th, 35th over, one of the two, and have an appeal for that. I don't think it's out. I think it is going down to misleg. We're not going to waste our review on it, just because it just didn't look quite right. So, you know, you can sometimes just tell in this game when an LBW is there. You can just see when it's like, yep, that is going to be going on to hit middle stump, and they have actually gone direct hit from out at the boundary, and they have gone and snuck through for a third. But it was a close thing. Had it gone to the non-striker's end, I think Finchy was in trouble. I don't think he ever wanted a third there. But he's been made to take it. And now the run's just starting to flow. Watson's come in. He's playing very well. 28 now with that boundary off 19 deliveries. So striking at well over 100. And we've gone for 20. After 4, so a little bit expensive by our standards. Normally we're around that 3-4 runs per over mark, but that's all right. We'll try and recover. Maybe give ourselves a little bit of a change in the bowling, possibly bring someone else in, but things aren't looking good. Whenever you are trying to defend a total, and the required run rate has now gone down to below 3 inside the first 10 overs, it means that those last 40 are going to be very easy. It's going to be a cakewalk. I'm going to start sending in a few more Yorkers just to try and get something, you know, get something like that there, something that misses the bat, hits a pad, it's pretty plumb, or something that's hit uppishly into that area, because 2 players out there are sweeping the leg side boundary, I guess you would say. And if you do get it in the right areas, and it is played up there, and it's not timed well enough, you know, a lot of ifs and a lot of buts, but you can pick up some wickets, and it has been a very successful wicket-taking ploy for me in the shorter form of the game. T20 cricket, I love not this field as such, but when we come outside of the power play, we will see pace defence 5, which I think slightly more defensive than this one that we have here at the moment, but it still contains those 2 men out there on the leg side, and I think there's a couple more somewhere else as well. I think on the offside there is some cover too, so it does make it very difficult for batsmen to score, and we did see that, you know, if you do send in those Yorkers like we did there, just the one coming off the over, and we will now have an opportunity to see this field that I was just talking about come into, I wasn't going to say come into play, but oh no, you can. So it's this one here, pace 5. You've still got your men obviously down the ground. You've got a man probably out at like deep cover, deep extra cover. So you do have that leniency, I guess, when it comes to getting it a little bit straighter or a little bit outside off. You know, you still have that cover. You can mix it up a little bit and put that one out there just a little bit. But this field here, as I said, anything that goes fine and up in the air, is going to be taken by that man at fine leg. There is also a man at deep backwards square leg, I guess you would say, or a little bit in front of deep backwards square. And it's just a good field. It's a field that I haven't really used, I would say, enough in this game. I didn't discover it until about a couple of months ago when I was just toying around with things. I think we're in a similar situation to this. Like, the game, you know, it was almost dead and buried. It was almost gone. And, you know, I wanted to keep the field attacking because I had picked up a couple of wickets already. And that was the only way that we were going to win the game, was by taking some wickets. So I went, had a look through, found this field, and I think I actually continued to take those wickets. Quite a lot of shots were played aerial out that way. So if you get it right, it is a great bowling field. You know, you can still leak runs because there are a lot of areas that are uncovered, obviously down the ground and through mid-wicket, as we have seen there, are very open and productive areas, I guess, for the batsman. But if you do get it right and you get it up full enough, swinging enough, if the ball does swing, then it does make it a hell of a lot easier, and you can really go and just start to march along. So I think this is our 7th over. on the trot. I'm not 100% sure. It's either the 6th or the 7th. Speed is starting to drop down to real, medium pace. We're starting to get down around the 114, 115 kilometers per hour. Normally, I bowl slow balls all the time because I'm trying to get that stat up, that skill up. But normally, yeah, it is around 120 all the time. But now down a lot slower, down 113, 114, as I said. So we just need to go and try and get things sorted, get it in those right areas, which is what we have been doing. It is a little bit slower, as I said, but sometimes that can play into your favour, especially as we have a look at this pitch. It is starting to, I wouldn't say crumble, but you can see there are a lot of marks that are starting to come on there, and that's something I hope that will be implemented a little bit more in Don Bradman 17. And I think what I really need to do is do a Don Bradman 17 like wish list or things that I want for the game. So we might do that. Might do that sometime, because I think that would be a good idea. That way you guys know what I would like to see, and I can find out, you know, in the comment section and stuff what you guys would like to see. Bad comparison at this stage. New Zealand, 1 for 24. I was going to say if they were 100 for. What am I saying? 124 for 1. They'd be in a very good position, but not the case. And as we see, you know, as soon as you go and put it back on that good length, it does just get punched down the ground very, very easily. A lot of space down there for players to score. But I'm just going to keep going. You know, I have a feeling a wicket possibly is coming. I'm going to start bowling a few cutters, because sometimes that can work as well. We've seen that too. I think it was with pace. I think it's with pace defence 3. We've seen it in T20s. Dan Vettori fielding in closer, almost like a silly. I don't even know what you'd call it. You know, just very silly for being in that close. But you get the odd one that just pops up, just stays in the air, and they take a wonderful catch. And Dan Vettori, for an old man, has some great reflexes in this game. The amount of catches he's taken in close for me is just incredible. So we'll continue to try and get him involved in the game. But as we can see, it just takes that one shot, just that one drag, that flick of the wrists, which is what we've seen here from Shane Watson, for him to pick up an easy 3, moves on to 49, and we go for 7 in the over, and an over that was actually pretty decent, I would have to say. But to go for 7, not ideal. We've bowled 8 now on the trot. I think we're just going to bowl out, to be honest. Not that I really want to, but I think that is what is going to happen. We're just going to bowl out. You know what? I'm going to go back to the tried and true pace defence 5, which has worked wonders for me in the past, I must say. It has just been an absolute gem of a field. You know, you've got cover everywhere. You've got cover at fine leg, you've got cover at third man, you've got cover down the ground, mid-wicket, and I think extra cover as well. So plenty of fielders out in the deep, obviously looking for those catches, which I think in the situation that these two are in, you know, they are going to start to look to hit. Only 2.5 runs and over needed from this stage. So plenty of time, but they probably would like to go and finish things up, I'd say, sooner rather than later. I was going to say something, but I better not say it. No, no way. And I just realised I haven't changed my field for Finch, which is a shame. But hopefully, I was going to say if I could pick up a wicket from that, it would be a marvellous piece of captaincy to keep the field as it is. But as it stands, I was going to say I thought it was going to go for 4, but it's been a good bit of fielding that has happened down there to keep it to 3. But that is still, sorry, the 100 up for the Australians. And going along very nicely at the moment. As I said, they are cruising towards that total of about 170 that New Zealand posted in their first innings. So not looking good, and things are going to be, as I said, a pretty comfortable walk in the park. We've just got 1 over left to go, so we're going to bowl that out, simulate through to the end of the game, which I can't imagine will be too much later than this here, because the run rate at the moment is 5. It's almost double the asking rate, I believe. No, sorry, half the asking rate, not double the asking rate. What am I saying? 74 off 30 overs still left to go. We have, however, picked up a wicket. Michael Clarke, the captain of the Australian side now, and Shane Watson's gone. Played a very good innings. Took me apart, I must say, and was very impressive. But I'm still pretty happy with how our bowling performance has gone. We were a little bit expensive, but we have dragged it back just a little bit. As I said, I believe this is our 10th over on the trot. So that run rate is back kind of where I like it to be, you know, somewhere between 3 and 4 runs and over. Even if I'm not picking up wickets, I don't mind going for 30 or 40 in a one-day innings. You know, if I had a few more runs on the board to work with, to play with, you know, a very different story. Obviously, if you go for 40, it means that you know you're going under the required run rate for the batting side, because normally, you know, you score around 250, 260 is a pretty par score when it comes to one-day international. So we finish our spell, actually go for under 40 runs with a dot ball to finish that one off. None for 39, but no joy at all really for any of the New Zealand players today, as we get absolutely spanked by Australia in this first one-day international. We'll be back strong, looking to win the next 2 games to win the series. I think it's a 3-match series. I'm not 100% sure, but we will be bringing you updates from that next week to see how things are going on. Anyway, guys, do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to leave a like. If you are new, please do subscribe. Make sure you check out my Facebook and Twitter. Links to that can be found down below in the description. Hope you had a good start to your week. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got more All Blacks Rugby Challenge Crusaders Career Mode coming your guys' way. Make sure you do not miss that.